Welcome fight fans to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over a potential fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis. Guys, boxing is a crazy, exciting, fickle, and unpredictable sport. If you would have told me last week, last month, even 6 months ago, that Terence Crawford would be in a position to even consider taking the Jaron Ennis fight, you know what I would have told you. You know what I've been telling you. I said there's no way this fight goes down based off of how Terence Crawford handled Errol Spence and what the demands coming out of Crawford and his camp have been since July 29th. He wants to be undisputed at either 68 or 54. Those were the two possibilities. He was initially going after Charlo, and then he was going after Canelo. So when Boots was coming and he was talking and Boozy was doing all these interviews about how Bud is ducking him and he's running away divisions, why would he fight 21 pounds up when he could defend against Jaron? I was like, this is a money grab. Terence is worried about his legacy. He wants to be great, and he's looking at it as he's keeping it going moving forward. Now, both guys haven't fought since July. Ennis hasn't fought since the Villa fight. Crawford hasn't fought since the Spence fight. With everything that's happened also in the 154 division, Charlo getting stripped, Zoo losing to Fundora, medical suspensions, Fundora having a broken nose, Zoo needing 10 stitches in his head. What is going on at 54 leads me to this. I wake up this morning, Eddie Hearn, doing what Eddie Hearn does, and Matchroom Boxing signs Jaron Ennis. This is good news for boxing. This is great news for Team Ennis. Why? Look back at some of the videos I did talking about the one thing hurting Jaron Ennis is marketing, promotional backing. With this, with Eddie, with Matchroom, he now fills those two voids. He's still only 26. He has 31 pro fights. All can be forgiven with just one signed blockbuster matchup. And who would have thought? I feel right now, as I'm doing this video talking to you guys, we might be closer than ever to a Jaron Ennis Terence Crawford fight. I mean, at 147, who would have thought that? This is crazy. This is why you gotta love boxing. It's the greatest sport in the world. Today we're gonna do a video, break down the statistics of each fighter. We're gonna do them individually and then bring them together at the end. So be sure to tune in. That's where we're gonna compare and contrast their resumes. What we're gonna do is break down their last 5 opponents and come up with a statistic we call strength of schedule. This will give us a better talking point on saying who's had the tougher journey, who's had the weaker path, so on and so forth. So to get started, let's break it down by talking about Terence Crawford and some stats that we do know about Bud. Bud Crawford is 40-0 with 31 knockouts, giving him a 78% career knockout to win ratio. He's currently ranked the #1 welterweight in the world. At 36 years old, standing at 5'8", he has a 74-inch reach, and the southpaw is a proud Omaha, Nebraska native. He currently is the WBA, WBO, WBC welterweight champion. He's also been undisputed at 140 and 147 pounds. Let's rewind the clock back to just this past July and look when he took on Errol Spence Jr. Spence was 28-0, knockout in the 9th. David Evanesian, 29-3, knockout in the 6th. Sean Porter, 31-3, knockout in the 10th. Kell Brook, 39-2, knockout in the 4th. Mean Machine, 21-0, knockout in the 9th. Let's grab our calculators. What we'll do is we'll get a number of 127 wins with only 8 losses, giving Terence Crawford's opponents over the last 5 a 94% strength of schedule. We know Bud is 5-0 with 5 knockouts, and it's been tough for him lately to get a fight since July. With everything moving on in the sport, with how quick things happen, fighters get signed, fighters get hurt, fighters lose, fighters win. I think right now the best decision for Team Crawford in order to make a big money fight with a lot of draw, a lot of promotion, is now this Boots Ennis fight. Like I said when I started this video, if you would have asked me that 3 months ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, I would have never said that. It's crazy how the sport changes. Let's take a closer look at Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is 31-0 with 28 knockouts, giving him a 90% career knockout to win ratio. He's currently ranked #3 in the world welterweight division. He's 26 years old, standing at 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. The orthodox fighter proudly hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he's currently the IBF interim welterweight champion. His last fight he took on Roman Villa, 26-1, knockout in the 10th. Karen Chukachin, 21-1, UD in the 12th. Clayton, 19-0, knockout in the 2nd. Delorme, 25-5, knockout in the 1st. Lipnitz, 16-1, knockout in the 6th. keep those calculators nearby. Let's add that up. 107 with only 8 losses, giving Boots a 93% win-loss strength of schedule over his last 5. We know he's 5-0 with 4 knockouts. And when we look at the fighters side by side to compare them, a few things that jump off the page, we have to mention that 10-year age gap. Boots at 26, Bud Crawford at 36. We also know as fans that boxing in any combat sport is a young man's game. We don't get bigger, stronger, faster normally the older we get. So if we had to compare and contrast which one is on the side of which fighter, you'd have to give the youth to Boots. But like we saw in July, Terence Crawford doesn't look like he's aging at all. Another thing would be the height. You know, Boots is 5'10", Terence is 5'8". Southpaw versus orthodox and how loose Boots fights. It'd be interesting to see if this fight takes place, how loose Boots would be in there against Crawford. Would he use that rangy, loose style to get in and to pick and pop from a distance, only to do what we know Boots wants to do and knock his opponent out? This is the crazy contrast, and this is why fans have been excited about this fight. This is why I took a lot of heat for saying that it wouldn't happen, is the fact that you have one guy at Bud, 78% career knockout to win ratio, undefeated, 40 wins, 31 knockouts, and another guy with a 90% career knockout to win ratio, 31-0 with 28 knockouts. Generation meets generation, Philadelphia versus Omaha, 26-year-old versus 36-year-old for all the belts. This is exciting. We'll see if it goes down, and if it does, guys, which side would you be on? Terence Crawford or Jaron Ennis? Let me know in the comment section below.